and welcome to the Midday Update. These are the top headlines from our newsroom today. His Majesty sends condolences to Saudi Arabia. Phone call from His Majesty gives wings to girls' career dreams. Job seekers, terminated workers in the Sultanate approach labour offices, seek status settlement. Jobs in demand post-COVID-19 in the Sultanate. Southern winds to cause temperature rise in parts of Oman. Seagoers in the country warned of rough waters. Bharat Biotech submits 90% documentation, confident of WHO emergency use listing of Covaxin. All Italian regions become COVID-19 low risk. From Asian Boxing Championships, Hosamuddin gives India winning start in tournament. From Pakistan Super League 6, Shahid Afridi ruled out of tournament due to back injury. These are the latest updates from a news studio today. It's time for us to see how the weather condition looks like in the Sultanate in our weather update.
This is Maithil Chukeli with today's weather update. And right now, I'm reporting from inside the TFM studio in Al Khuair. Before we move on to weather, here is our fact for the day. The scent of rain is called petrichor, and it occurs when rain hits dry earth. That is our fact for the day. Now let's take a look at how the weather will be like in the Sultanate. According to Oman Meteorology and Civil Aviation Authorities, there will be mainly clear skies in the Sultanate with chances of clouds convection over Al Hajar Mountains and also chances of isolated rain. There's expected dust rising in the desert and open areas, and there's also chances of late night to early morning low-level clouds or fog patches along the coastal areas of the Arabian Sea and Oman Sea. And now let's take a look at how the weather will be like in all the governorates. Muscat will be sunny, temperatures between 39 to 34 degrees Celsius. Musandam will be sunny, temperatures between 42 to 31 degrees Celsius. North Al-Batana will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 38 to 30 degrees Celsius. South Al-Batana will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 44 to 35 degrees Celsius. Al-Buraimi will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 44 to 31 degrees Celsius. Al-Dhahira will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 43 to 30 degrees Celsius. Al-Dakhiliya will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 42 to 28 degrees Celsius. Partly cloudy, temperatures between 41 to 27 degrees Celsius. South Al-Sharqiyya will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 46 to 30 degrees Celsius. Al-Wusta will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 43 to 25 degrees Celsius. And the Far will also be partly cloudy, temperatures between 28 to 20 degrees Celsius.
Welcome back to TTV. You're watching Midday Update. Now, before we get into the details of the local stories for the day, let's see how the COVID-19 situation looks like in the Sultanate. The Ministry of Health officials has announced the registration of 10 death cases due to coronavirus in Oman today. This has taken the total death toll in the Sultanate to 2,284. The health officials have also extended their deepest condolences to the families of the deceased. Moreover, the Ministry of Health has also announced the registration of 817 new coronavirus cases in Oman today. The total cases in the country have now touched 212,038, which also includes total recoveries of 195,720, as well as 2,284 deaths. According to the Ministry of Health, a total of 285 people have also recovered in the past 24 hours. The ministry has urged everyone to adhere to social distancing instructions issued by the Supreme Committee and the Ministry of Health. And now from a local desk. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq has sent a cable of condolences to the King of Saudi Arabia on the death of Princess Al-Jawhara bint Muhammad bin Abdulaziz bin Abdurrahman Al Saud. A statement issued online by Oman News Agency said, His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sends a cable of condolence to his brother, custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, King of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, on the death of the late Her Royal Highness Princess Al-Jawhara bint Muhammad bin Abdulaziz bin Abdurrahman Al Saud. Talking about His Majesty, a 10-year-old girl in the Sultanate has received a phone call from His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq and his wife, Her Highness the Honorable Lady, His Majesty the Sultan's spouse, after sharing her career ambitions on national radio. Shahla bint Saeed al-Hadidia, who lives in Nakhl in South al-Batina, was sharing her ambitions of becoming a flight attendant because she harbors a dream of one day wishing to serve His Majesty. She said on a radio show on school's mornings that I love our Sultan a lot. My dream is to become a flight attendant so that I can provide hospitality to His Majesty. Little did she know, though, that two very special people would soon call her. When His Majesty the Sultan and Her Highness did speak to her, Shahla was overwhelmed with emotion. In fact, she said that when I received the call, I could not stop myself from crying while talking to them. I was so happy and overjoyed at listening to the voices of His Majesty and his wife. His Majesty the Sultan said he had listened to me on Oman radio and encouraged me to fulfill my ambition. She also revealed that His Majesty spoke to her in a very tender manner, just like her father often does, and inquired about her current situation. Adored by her teachers and liked by her friends, Shahla does rather well at school. Her mother added that the joy the family felt on receiving this special call was indescribable. A number of job seekers and workers whose services were terminated, visited the directorates of the Ministry of Labour on Monday, where they urged the authorities to settle their status at a time the government is pressing ahead with its program of employment of citizens. The government is providing employment opportunities through its program of training and replacement of expat workers in the public sector with Omanis. The government also facilitates employment in different private sector areas. This includes the announcement made on Monday on the finalization of appointment procedures for 2,364 teachers in the school year 2021-2022, as well as the Sultan Qaboos Naval Academy's announcement of receiving a new batch of recruits on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Job Security Fund, commonly known as JSF, began disbursing the dues of workers whose services were terminated in accordance with mechanisms endorsed since November 2020. By April 2021, the number of JSF beneficiaries stood at 6,413, of them 78.7% men and 21.3% women. The JSF was established in March 2020 and its funding kicked off with a 10 million Omani Riyals donation by His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq among wide-scale participation from various segments of society. The JSF provides protection for people who have lost their jobs for reasons beyond their will. The JSF works to fill the transition gap experienced by laid-off workers before they get new jobs. It provides insured workers with decent living conditions, including the offer of a time-limited earning equal to their previous income or part of it, besides helping them to look for jobs. Now, skills in cutting-edge technology, healthcare, and those that help in self-sufficiency and economic resilience will be in demand in Oman after the COVID-19 pandemic, which will create thousands of jobs for talented Omanis and skilled expatriates. The coronavirus pandemic had disrupted economies around the world, often stretched by supply chains, impacted the way people work, and has shown the value of sound healthcare, and experts in the country say these jobs will make sure Oman and other countries are more resilient in future. There is a list of jobs that we think are the jobs of the future, said an official from the Ministry of Labour. He continued saying that you will need diversity in skills. The skills of the future will be in areas such as cybersecurity and automation. I see changes in the services industry where there could be more opportunities to employ artificial intelligence and database services. He continued saying that there will never be fewer numbers of jobs, rather there will be new openings to serve differently. I don't see people gathering at a common location for work, rather they will work from a distance. Therefore, you need to educate people to have the right skills. The manufacturing industry, particularly those related to food, beverages, and medicines, are also likely to see more job creation as the country looks to be both resilient and self-sufficient instead of relying on imports, which could be affected by changes to supply chains in the event of incidents such as the pandemic. To make sure these goods on time get to where they are needed, more logisticians, planners, warehousing, and transport opportunities are required. Economic expansion, though, must not come at the cost of environmental damage, he said, which means companies need to adopt green policies and there is likely to be more focus on renewable energies. On this context, Dr. Hisham Magd, head of the Faculty of Business and Economics at the Modern College of Business and Science, highlighted similar roles to the above across 7 sectors, which includes healthcare, IT and e-commerce, higher education, SMEs, agriculture, tourism, and lastly, hospitality. Going further into these areas of employment, he expects there to be increased demand for educators, lawyers, risk and insurance personnel, marketing professionals, specialists in virtual reality, software developers and programmers, and more employment in tourism, hospitality, and event management. However, Dr. Magd added it would take time for educational institutions to put in place the facilities required to teach the large numbers of students required to fill those roles. On the other hand, Dr. Syed Mujahid Hussain, the head of the Department of Economics and Finance at the College of Economics and Political Science at the Sultan Qaboos University, added that one of the rare positives of the pandemic has been the need for us to adapt and find alternative ways of getting things done. He said that, quoting him here, people will continue to stick to online services even post-COVID, and computer science jobs, such as those mentioned above, will be high in demand to support online businesses. Universities are realizing the new trends in the job market and need to work on offering new skills and courses to meet changing market in demand. Now, due to active southern winds in the Sultanate, there may be chances of dust storms and increased temperatures ranging from 46 to 48 degrees Celsius. A statement issued online by Oman Meteorology said, currently active southern wind has been detected in the Al-Wusta Governorate and may affect the governorates of Al-Buraimi, Al-Dahira, North and South Al-Batina, and parts of Ad-Dakhliya, which may lead to dust storms accompanied by a rise in temperatures between 46 to 48 degrees on the plains and coasts of North and South Al-Batina. Now, starting from Wednesday and until Friday, a warning alert has been sent to seagoers and fishermen about the height of sea waves on the coast of Musandam and Oman Sea by Oman Meteorology. A statement issued online earlier by the Oman Meteorology said, the continuation of the upheaval of the Arabian Sea reaching its maximum height between 3 to 3.5 meters and expectations of sea wave height in the coasts of Musandam and the Sea of Oman, where average waves are expected to reach their maximum height between 2 to 2.5 meters from tomorrow until Friday. Seagoers and fishermen, please pay attention and take caution, the statement added. This was all from a local desk today. It's time for us to take a quick commercial break, but stay tuned as we have more coming to you from International Desk.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to TTV, watching Midday Update. And now from our international desk. Bharat BioNTech is confident about obtaining the World Health Organization's emergency use listing, commonly known as EUL, for its COVID-19 vaccine, given its experience of getting its other vaccines pre-qualified, and has submitted 90% of the documentation required for EUL by the global health body, sources said on Monday. A meeting has been held with Bharat BioNTech International Limited, commonly known as BBIL, on the status of application for WHO's EUL for Covaxin. developed by the Hyderabad-based agency in collaboration with ICMR. The meeting was attended by Dr. V. Krishna Mohan, MD, Bharat BioNTech International Limited, and his colleagues with senior officers of the Ministry of Health, Department of Biotechnology, and Ministry of External Affairs, the sources said. It was noted that Covaxin had already received regulatory approval from 11 countries, adding there was also interest from 11 companies in 7 countries for technology transfer and its production. The sources said the BBIL noted that they had submitted 90% of the documentation required for EUL to WHO, and the remaining is expected to be submitted in June this year. The company, the sources said, is in the final stages of submission of required documents for Covaxin's regulatory approvals in Brazil and Hungary, and have also held extensive bilateral consultations with both countries. They said the company is also in the final stages of negotiations with the Food and Drug Administration of the USA for conducting small-scale phase 3 clinical trials in the United States. All Italian regions turned to yellow on Monday, indicating a low risk of contagion and the lowest level of anti-COVID-19 restrictions, according to national health authorities. Health Minister Roberto announced this last Friday following the latest monitoring report by the National Institute of Health, commonly known as ISS. During the week from May 10 to May 16, the national COVID-19 reproduction number, known as R number, an indicator used to determine how fast the COVID-19 is spreading, dropped to 0.78 from 0.86 registered in the previous ISS weekly survey. Overall, the R number below 1 shows the pandemic is in a regressive phase. The coronavirus incidence rate also dropped to 66 cases per 100,000 inhabitants in the week from May 10 to May 16, against 96 in the previous week. All major pandemic indicators kept improving, and especially the number of active infections, of people hospitalized, and of patients in serious conditions admitted to intensive care units, all of which have been dropping steadily in the last week. Italy has registered 4.9 million coronavirus cases, including 125,225 deaths as of Monday. The positive trend was directly linked to the ongoing vaccination campaign, which has been gaining steam in the latest weeks, according to the health minister. Some 30 million vaccine doses have been administered so far, and over 10 million people have been fully immunized after receiving both doses, according to the health ministry. Once again, it's time for a quick commercial break, but stay tuned for more updates from our sports desk.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to TTV. You're watching Midday Update. And now from a sports desk. Mohammad Husamuddin began the Indian campaign on a winning note at the 2021 ASBC Asian Boxing Championships as he defeated Makhdoom Sabir Khan in Dubai on Monday. The Commonwealth Games bronze medalist made a cautious start against the Kazakhstan boxer. However, with a swift movement and counter-attacking display, the Indian held an edge over his opponent and completed a 5-0 victory to progress into the quarterfinals. Husamuddin will have a strong challenge in the last 8 match from the top seed and reigning world champion Miraziz Beg of Uzbekistan on Tuesday. The ongoing championships, which marks a return of international boxing in Asia post-COVID-19 pandemic, is witnessing the presence of 150 pugilists from 17 counties, including strong boxing nations such as India, Uzbekistan, Philippines, and Kazakhstan. India's best ever show at the Asian Championship came into the last edition in 2019 in Bangkok, where they secured 13 medals, including 2 golds. Now coming from Pakistan Super League 6 is Multan Sultan star all-rounder Shahid Afridi has been ruled out of the Dubai-Abu Dhabi leg of the Pakistan Super League Season 6 due to the back injury. The former Pakistan captain was training in Karachi for the upcoming tournament matches when he experienced pain in his lower back, following which he was examined by a doctor who has advised him complete rest. Shahid, who appeared in Sultan's 4 Karachi leg matches, has been replaced by Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's left-arm spinner Asif Afridi, who would be joining the Sultan squad in Abu Dhabi. Meanwhile, Islamabad United have roped in left-handed batsman Umar Amin and West Indies opener Brandon King. The latest additions mean they now have a complete 20-year player squad. Peshawar Zalmi have added Afghanistan's Hazratullah Zazai with Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's Samin Gul and Khalid Usman as reserve players in their squad. With this news, we have come to the end of the episode for today, but stay tuned as we'll be back again tomorrow with more updates and latest news your way. Keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4.